So here's a question. Is Sonic actually murdered? I honestly see this either being canon to the games and where this is all just a game and Sonic isn't really dead, which is probably the most likely scenario. Or this is not canon and Sonic was actually murdered. All this stuff's getting heavy. I'll dump what I don't need. Everyone's favorite journalist reporter, Amy Rose, is hot on the scoop. I'm hanging out. You've been fabulously helpful. Already? Before you go, ESPIO and I wanted to give you your presents. My presents? You're both too sweet, thank you. Better, seems we have more guests. Amy, there you are. Have you found any leads yet, or want to join us in finding clues? Found any leads yet? Oh, the detective pair needs help from the birthday girl. She knows everyone's allowed to be sassy on their birthday. This tip is just too juicy to ignore. I'll see you all around. Don't worry, Sonic, I'll be the one to avenge you, and quick. But how are you gonna leave? The door to the next car is locked. Oh, you doubt the birthday girl? The birthday girl has a master key. Right, the birthday girl gets the birthday key. Of course, it's a birthday privilege. I'll solve this case before anyone else. Bye! Amy may be hasty, but she's thorough. Now, what are you two doing? Looking mighty suspicious, I say. I'm the detective, so I can't be the murderer. And I'm making sure things go well. Here to ask if anyone's hungry. This one?
Yeah.
Things aren't going great. Not sure if you've forgotten, but there was a murder. Well, I mean, besides that. Besides murder? My social skills. Non-existent. I'm Better, the butcher. I'm licensed to handle raw meat. And I'm ESPIO, the poet. Poetry. The resonant message from poet to reader meant to challenge our delicate perspectives with the most rhythmic of prose. Can I hear some? Sure. Teardrops in the spring. Can you hear me sing? La 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 la, dee 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 dee. Was that it? I have more if you like. Cherry blossoms in the spring. I'm satisfied for now, thanks. Okay, so it's obvious that ESPIO is a bit more skilled as a ninja than a poet. At least he's rhyming, I suppose. Barry and I are here to establish both of your alibis. Can you walk us through what happened after Amy had everyone leave the dining car? Oh, sure, it's simple. We just explained this to Amy, actually. When we were all sent off, Rouge, Blaze, Shadow, and Sonic all passed through this library car, where Amy told me and ESPIO to stay. I promptly picked a book off the shelf and made myself comfortable. Vector got bored, so he left to see what Knuckles was up to in the saloon car. Yep. Where was Rouge? We happened to see her lipstick stain on a cup at the saloon car. Rouge came over to the library car, seemingly looking for something. Then she went to search the saloon car. She came back shortly after. We heard her shout, "No way," at the brochure stand over there. But she led back to the casino car before Shadow came through and locked the door. Wonder what she found. She's obviously been on the hunt for something. After Rouge left, Shadow walked through the casino car, then entered the library car and locked the door behind him. More importantly, why has Shadow been locking doors? Shadow walked through the library car to the saloon car where Knuckles and I were playing games. He insisted on showing us up that Super Monkey Ball. I got so engrossed by the rolling monkey action I hardly noticed when Shadow left the saloon car. I guess he walked through the library car to the casino car again, locking the door behind him. Then returned to the lounge car where he was meant to be stationed. When Vector came back, we realized Knuckles locked the door to the saloon car. We were stuck in the library car. That's when the train sped up. We were worried about the bookshelves falling on us, but we got through it all right. We sat trapped here until Amy arrived asking questions. She's the one that told us someone murdered Sonic. And yeah, that's all that happened. With all these locked doors, it seems veteran ESPIO couldn't have left the library car or the saloon car. Thank you both for your cooperation. We're just gonna peek around and we'll return with any questions. If you return with any meat, I'll chop it up for you. And if you like to be serenaded with a poem, I got you covered too. Thanks, guys. Their alibis seem solid enough, but we should still search for clues. What we're looking for is any evidence that proves what they're saying is true. We need to confirm Vector's reason for leaving his post, and determine if ESPIO was actually in the library car reading. A tall task, but we can do it. Let's get to the bottom of this, Tails. Absolutely. Time to start looking for evidence. So many books on the ground. I wish we had time to pick them all up. I sadly have no interest in picking up these books. A lot of these were knocked out by the train speeding up. But Rouge pulled a lot of these out too, searching for something. What reckless behavior. I feel sorry for the poor books. The spines are creasing. They're opening too far. This kid feels empathy for everything. Oh, brochures. There are travel destination ideas here, like amusement parks, caverns, hotels, restaurants. Oh! Mary, look at this. There's a couple maps here. This seems to be a map of the library car. The books are categorized by genre, which are listed here. I love a good overhead map. Let's take it. Library map added to your inventory. Should we take this brochure about a cave too? Look, there's stalactites. Nah, leave it. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Nobody shares my fondness for caves. An overhead map of the layout of the library. Shelves and tables included. Oh, poor Chow. The Chow hangs precariously from a tree branch. The large text below reads, "Hang in there." Wow, I really need to see this. This little Chow's hanging there, refusing to use his wings to fly to safety, because choosing the hard way is often the most rewarding. That's beautiful. If this Chow can stick to his principles and find strength, then I can too. There's no way there was that much thought put into this poster. Right? Something's always hidden in the trash. Let's check there. I hate to say it, but there's nothing here. I really thought there'd be something there. Barry, are you sad there was nothing in the trash bin? No, I'm alright. I'm sure there'll be something hidden in the next trash bin we find. You really think so? Yeah. We just gotta stay optimistic. Yeah, okay. These trash bins hide a secret, I'm sure of it. Barry, you're pretty unconventional, but I like that. Was that supposed to be a compliment? Barry would fit right in with it in an Ace Attorney game. Okay, so we can also click on the table. Let's just take a pause and sit for a second. These chairs are very comfy. So plush. Puts me right in the mood to read. Makes me want to take a nap, personally. In fact, maybe I'll rest my eyes a bit. Barry, no, don't fall asleep. There's been a murder, remember? If I had a ring for every time a murder ruined my nap time. I'm pretty sure you would have at least one ring. I hope. Oh, poor thing. That arm is really struggling cleaning up this car. To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up all this mess either. Let's just leave it alone to do its thing. Yeah, probably for the best. That's the next area. We can click on this. Oh! Chaos Cola. Check out our book club. Book of the month, Gong Gao. And that's it. Let's put the Chow Cola up there. Or the Chaos Cola. A globe of our marvelous planet. I haven't traveled around much. The islands are fun and all, but I'd love to visit some of the countries. They're a lot of fun, honestly. Plenty of wonderful people and shops and food. The food can't be beat either. Sounds perfect for a vacation. The conductor was talking about Spagonia, if you've ever been there. I have, actually. If you're ever visiting, be sure to stop at the university and say hi to Professor Pickle. He'll tell you everything about the area, and makes one scrumptious sandwich. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. This group knows everyone, and has been everywhere, haven't they? You have no idea. Wow, I wish I could stop and look at all these books. But Sonic needs me. No time to rest. Alright, let's move on then. Well, I mean, a little peek wouldn't hurt. He scavenged through all the book titles excitedly. He's like a kid in a candy shop, or in this case, a genius in a train library. That's odd. I know some books have fallen out of the floor and everything, but every book on these shelves is in alphabetical order, but this one. The Mirage Express Manual. It's the user guide to the Mirage Express, the train we're currently on. Do you think someone found it on the ground and put it back? Maybe, but it is interesting. Let's make a note of this. Mirage Express Manual, add to your inventory. An exhaustive manual of the Mirage Express has many features and capabilities. Doesn't seem to mention how to drive the train, which would have been neat. Anything else? Yes! What's this bright red book? Oh, yuck. This reeks of the evil scientist Dr. Eggman. Yep, this is Dr. Eggman's autobiography and recipe book. What kind of recipes? Who cares? I wouldn't trust any book he's written. It's weird this is even here. Maybe people just appreciate an omelet. You may not be wrong. So, Eggman has an autobiography and cookbook. Who knew? Is there nothing else? I'm not seeing anything else. What? What did you say, babe? I don't know what it is, but you're breaking up again. We are back. We had slight technical difficulties, but it's fixed now, and hopefully it stays fixed. Discord can be buggy sometimes, and plus we are connecting to both different sides of the world. Fancy a poem? Can I get a poem about space, or how about a poem about trains?
The first one.
I made it up to space with my beloved antique vase, but a mistake in my haste dropped the vase from my embrace, so my antique I must now replace. What caused you to drop the vase? Don't read too deeply, it's just a poem. He hasn't thought it through, has he? Let's talk about trains. Locomotive in motion. I think I lost my lotion. The window shows the ocean. Oh wait, there's my lotion. Thanks. I actually really like that one. Huh? Can I take your order? I have a poem about this. My starved stomach babbled, though I ignored the grumbling tummy, for the eggs I received are scrambled when I asked for my eggs sunny. Oh wow, we don't serve any eggs on the train though. My talent is wasted on you lot. I will say this, he's trying. But I think he's better staying as a ninja. I honestly don't think there's really much of anything else left to click on here.
Try back up.
Did you bring me any meat to chop? I may be a butcher, but they confiscated my meat cleaver before getting on the train. You actually tried to bring a knife on the train. I'm a man of authority, of authenticity tales. Without a knife, I'm just a chef in a ketchup-stained apron, not a butcher. I think if you had a knife on you, we definitely think you were the murderer. But what if I hid the knife? You know, I'm not the biggest fan of this line of thought. Oh yes, please, I'm starved. Actually, I'm off duty at the moment. The murder mystery is more important. Then why would you show the menu to me? Come on, Barry, why would you tease him like that? And here I thought I could trust you. You made a fool of me. Look, Barry, you made him a fool. Come on, Barry, smooth this over. No, I'm the fool. Yeah. I smooth things over, but at what cost? Again, Barry would fit so nicely in an Ace Attorney game. Did you bring me any meat to chop? Okay, that's just the same thing. Wish there was a... I guess all we can do is start the interrogation. I don't think we have enough evidence yet. Okay, so they actively stop you from interrogating. So Tails will tell you if you've collected everything. So... But there's nothing left to click in this room, so I guess we have to move on to the next one. Shadow supposedly walked through the library car before going into the saloon car. When Shadow left the library car, he locked this door on his way out. There's gotta be a reason he's doing this. Should we make a note of it? Yeah, I do believe we should. Shadow's lock is added to your inventory. Oh, that was the last clue. Okay, so apparently all we had to do is just click on the door. So, the two of you don't believe us, eh? It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Barry and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play games with Knuckles, and if ESPIO really was reading in the library car. Vector, will start with you. Why'd you leave the library car to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to present evidence if need... Oh, that's easy. I got bored. What? I wasn't entertaining him enough, it seems. Vector enjoys being social. Plus, we were instructed to mingle. I remember the arcade machine in the saloon cars, so figured I'd go check it out. This seems to line up with the information we gathered with Knuckles. Then that brings our attention to you, ESPIO. Rouge entered the library car, found something, and left. You said you immediately started reading, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library car? Of course he was. Once ESPIO starts reading, he doesn't stop till it's done. I've seen it happen. Must have been a good read. What was the book? ESPIO doesn't owe you that, detective. Let the man live. What if it was embarrassing? What kind of things do you think I read? If you won't talk, I have a hunch on what that book might be. Barry, could you help me out? Alright, Barry, what book do we think ESPIO may have been reading? Well, there's really only one book here. The Mirage Express Manual. A manual? You think ESPIO was reading instructions? What argument could you possibly have to support this? 40. Oh. Oh, okay, so if I touch the red... We got this, Barry. Let's try again. I am jumping.
It doesn't look like you are. We can't do private spiking.
Ah, damn it. There we go. Wow, yeah, no, these are getting a lot harder. There were books scattered around the floor, sure, but the remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order. All except this manual, meaning someone at the very least picked the manual up and put it back in the incorrect place. This lack of attention to detail isn't normally like you, ESPIO. Hey now, I won't have you insult my pal like that. Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself. Apologies, ESPIO. A butcher and a poet. Friendship can form anywhere. That is indeed the book I was reading, the Mirage Express Manual. Trains are cool. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual, Barry, if you don't mind. So, apparently, ESPIO likes trains. Oh god, he's the Sonic version of the I like trains kid. If you've ever seen ASDF, I don't know if you have, babe.
No.
You have not?
No.
Oh, that needs to be rectified immediately. Pretty much basically what ASDF is that it's all hand-drawn animations. But it's all like, funny little tiny, like, maybe 5-second long skits. All 5-second long jokes. And one of them is this kid that says, I like trains. And every time he says that, a train runs someone over or runs him over.
I like trains.
After this, I am sending you a link to a playlist of the ASDF videos. They are funny and very quotable. Could you ask ESPIO some questions about the manual? Just flip to a page and ask away. Oh, I see. Quiz ESPIO about the manual to prove he read it. Which page should I quiz him on? Page 14, 362, or 97? I don't think we actually see what's in the pages, do we? No. So I guess we can just pick a random page.
Second one.
362?
Yeah.
Okay, What efficient, extremely accurate technology was installed to assist in keeping the train spotless? Robotic arms. During events, they can perform a variety of tasks, and are responsible for cleaning up trash and messes afterwards. I remember the conductor saying the train can clean itself, though I have a feeling the train company just didn't want to hire any janitors. Honestly, I wish Holmes had that. The robotic arms can also detect weapons and explosives being brought onto the train, ensuring passenger safety. Seems like ESPIO aced that question. Barry, hit him with another one. Okay, which page do I choose? 89, 231, or 15?
15.
What is the Mirage Express's cancellation policy? No refunds and you'll be charged a no-show fee. This does not apply if you are over the age of 65. Gee, the person who made this rule must have been over 65. Last one, Barry. Let's see if ESPIO can go 3 for 3. Gotcha. Which page should I pick last? Page 402, page 16, or page 56?
Page 402.
402. What was implemented to support the conductor duties and ease general train obligations? An intelligent data processing system. It works in tandem with the conductor to assure smooth travel for guests. I remember this. The train has an autopilot, but it can't access its full suite of capabilities without the conductor present. How did I pass? Now, did I pass your little test? Yes. Totally. It's wild you're able to retain all this information so quickly. A poet's brain is often surprising. I don't know if I'd be bragging about that. You've clearly read the manual. Those answers feel far too specific to be guesses. And you both had the nerve to question my buddy like that. Well, let's be honest. He's a ninja, and he works for the Chaotic Detective Agency. Information and gathering information and memorizing it is kind of part of the job. Don't we want to be supporting folks who read? You have to admit, though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if true. But he answered all my questions so calmly. That's very impressive. No, I understand everyone's cautious attitudes. Vector was the one to see me reading after all. My alibi is hard to substantiate despite being the truth. Well, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we can... ESPIO, is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading. Yes, that's correct. Problem? Frankly, I don't believe that can be true. And we have evidence to back it up. Barry? He always puts me on the spot. Okay, Barry, think. We should have a piece of evidence that linked to someone who also saw ESPIO reading. But what?
That's for sure. You're that.
Would it be the map? I don't think the map would come into play here. Shadow's locked. So a lot that supposedly Shadow has been placing on multiple doors of the train. Would it be the lock? Because then Shadow would have seen him.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's my thought process. Shadow's lock? Please, pray tell what this has to do with anything. We're up, Barry. Let's get our argument together. Okay, so we're on the right track. 50 reigns this time.
Be careful.
Ah.
You got hit with this stuff. Okay. Okay.
Well, we're still good. We're still good. We're still good. We're good.
Unless we didn't have to get something flavor.
Shadow walked through the library card to get to the saloon car, where he set the original high score on the arcade machine. Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't the high score long. Crocs are natural gamers. ESPIO said he saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentions that Vector came back. When Shadow left Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car, ESPIO was fully seated reading his book for a good while at this point. We know Shadow had to walk back to the library car when he left the saloon car. So there's absolutely no way Shadow and ESPIO didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip. It was a simple slip-up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow. You're telling me the sound of doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up? Well, you see, I can sense ESPIO's desperation here. Defending the argument that he was reading the entire time isn't easy. So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock all the doors, then at that moment, were you really in the library car at all? But how would ESPIO leave? Shadow locked all the doors and no one saw ESPIO in the saloon car. It's a mystery, my dear Barry. One that I would love for ESPIO to solve. You gotta believe me. That cool demeanor is vanishing. I was so involved in my book that I didn't notice Shadow pass back through the library car. Honest. When Vector returned, he even had to tap me on the shoulder to get my attention. Yeah, I think I remember doing that. I must avenge my friend's death, so I'll ask you again, ESPIO. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car? I wasn't. I didn't. Why doesn't this seem right to me? Tails definitely feels like he's onto something, but I don't see it. Was ESPIO simply sitting reading, or did he somehow vanish to not notice Shadow's return to the library car? What should I do? Defend ESPIO or join Tails?
Join.
Join Tails?
Yes.
No, I can't interrupt Tails while he's onto something. I'll let him continue this line of questioning and... Barry, my favorite and beloved employee, please, protect the passengers aboard this train. They must be taken care of. If you fail, the lawsuits will be torturous. Don't allow such an old, feeble soul to get sued. I'm pretty sure he didn't say that.
No, he didn't.
I have to make sure our guests are taken care of. I have to speak up. Tails. We have a piece of evidence that can answer all of our problems. Alright, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and ESPIO couldn't have seen one another? Oh, this is where the map comes in. Oh, I see it now. So if ESPIO was sitting here and Shadow was over here, they couldn't see each other. The bookshelf is in the way.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's get my thoughts in order. Here we go again, back to the special stage. 55 reigns this time.
Oh. That's great.
I'm taking some risks here.
You're doing great. Oh. That's messed up.
The library map? Oh, I see. See the exits? They're right across from one another. A straight path. If Shadow walked down this straight path, there's a way ESPIO and Shadow couldn't have seen one another. Looks like you'll have to point out where exactly on the map you mean. Oh, I was looking here, but now I see it. He could have been sitting over here. Where could ESPIO have been for Shadow to not see him? Yeah, no, now I see it. He had to have been sitting here. Because he would have to walk, Shadow would have to go all the way across. There is 2 bookshelves in the way of the entrances, plus this. So he would have to be sitting here. Interesting. That's where I was sitting reading my book. I can second this. When I returned from the saloon car, ESPIO was in the same spot. That confirms it then. You see, Shadow and ESPIO couldn't have seen one another from this spot. Because a bookcase is in the way. There's no way Shadow could have seen ESPIO or vice versa. It makes a lot of sense. Why you never mentioned Shadow's return, ESPIO. There's just no way you would have seen him. I apologize for losing my cool back there. I felt like I was grasping despite telling the truth. But I'm glad you all believe me now. Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further points. Thank you both for answering all our questions. We did it. Another pair of alibis validated. Too many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything strained itself out in the end. At least Amy is leaving the doors unlocked for us. Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy. Likewise, I could use a breather. Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rouge and especially Shadow. Oh, it seems the door to the next car is open. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier. Then that's our cue to leave. See you later, Veteran ESPIO. Give 'em heck, and if you need any meat chopped up, say the word. I'll keep my poetry sharp for you both. A murderer is on the loose, while doors keep getting locked. Tick-tock, tick-tick-tock goes the clock, while our heroes are in the caboose. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this. Hey, if Tails being an inventor / robotic scientist / hero / psychic doesn't work out, he could be a detective.
Alright.
Come on, Barry. Let's see what's next. Come in. You sure you don't want to stay and look at all the great books a little longer? The mystery calls. Okay, the investigation continues.